And now, the general weather around Alaska.
First graphic today shows that there's been an extension westward of the flood watch here that's been out for the southeastern Brooks Range, Kobuk-Koyukuk valleys, and it's been extended into the Noatak Valley there, and that'll be out for the next few days. Otherwise, there's a flood advisory out for the Tanana River from Delta Junction to Fairbanks for minor flooding, and that will be out, until Thursday night, or through Thursday night into Friday, actually, until I believe noon Friday. That's for the Tanana River there from Delta Junction to Fairbanks. Could be some minor flooding along the entire stretch of the area there. Otherwise, a high wind advisory out for the Western Alaska Range, which includes Denali Park, Healy, Cantwell, Carlo Creek, and Kantishna areas for winds of 35 gusting 60 miles per hour. And there's a high wind watch out for the Eastern Alaska Range for winds gusting to 70 miles per hour. And those are going to affect Thursday afternoon and into early Friday. Moving on to the fire danger map, just a small area now of high fire danger forecast here over the southeast interior area for tomorrow, and some medium high fire danger there around Gulkana, Glen Allen area in the Copper River Basin. Otherwise, everywhere else is low. Excuse me. And satellite imagery showing one weakening low pulling northward toward the Seward Peninsula, and a couple of bands of moisture coming through. This one extending down toward the northern panhandle in toward Yakutat, where they had over an inch of rain in the last 24 hours, I believe. And that kind of weakens as it trails off across the southeast coast there, along and off the coast, moving through today. Another band here bringing more rain and showers up into Cook Inlet and the Kenai Peninsula from northeast Bristol Bay, extending into the Kuskokwim Valley there. A little bit of a break right through here. Drier conditions ahead of the next big storm coming up that's south of the Aleutians here, already bringing storm force and gale force winds in toward the central and eastern Aleutians this afternoon. Nikolsky winds gusting up about 60 miles an hour, and 40 to 50 mile an hour winds reported at Adak and Atka. Cold Bay getting winds gusting up to about 40 miles an hour now. Not much of a rain producer yet, just a few hundredths of an inch at the sparsely spaced rain gauges we got out there. But at least up to this point, probably be more in the next 12 to 24 hours. Otherwise, weak trough here has yet to move through south central Alaska. That'll keep the showers going this evening. Later this evening, this break here should slip on up overnight tonight. And before the next batch of rain comes in with this rapidly moving frontal system, they'll bring rain and wind into Kodiak Island, gale force winds. And again, storm warnings here for the eastern Aleutians and pretty strong winds for the Alaska Peninsula. Could see gusts to 70 miles an hour at Cold Bay possibly there as this low center pulls northward and a tighter gradient there. And then strong northwest winds behind that for Atka in toward Unamak Island. Otherwise, again, diminishing showers over southern Alaska, dry in the central interior. Weak system up here keeps some scattered showers going Brooks Range, North Slope, eastern Arctic coast, and showers on the decrease there for the southeast coast. Then for tomorrow, look for it to be mostly dry, central and southern panhandle, maybe a few breaks in the overcast there down toward Dixon Entrance. But windy, wet conditions, especially windy conditions coming into southern Alaska, North Gulf Coast there, especially ahead of the front as this low tracks northward and crosses 60 north. Should be some pretty good southeasterly winds through the passes of south central Alaska, through the mountain passes south central Alaska there. Good southwest winds for Kodiak Island will dry it out on the east side there, but still some pretty good shower activity down to the southwest part of the island. Showers diminish and scatter out, but still pretty windy conditions. Gradient fairly tight there for the Alaska Peninsula and eastern Aleutians. Low tracking into the southwest interior, weakening. Drier conditions for the Aleutians there. Not too bad up here over the north and northeast part of the state for tomorrow afternoon. Then for Friday, that low tracks northward to the western Brooks Range, continues to weaken. And we were left with westerly flow coming off the Bering Sea across all of interior Alaska. That'll spread some widespread shower activity up here for the central and northern areas up to about the Brooks Range, extending to the eastern Arctic coast. And a fair amount of rain possibly for the Kobuk, Selawik, Noatak Valley, Kotzebue, maybe the Seward Peninsula. Otherwise, showers for mainly the Kuskokwim Delta area. And westerly flow coming off the Alaska and Aleutian ranges here, or the Aleutian Range, could make for a mostly sunny day for Kodiak Island. In fact, partly mostly sunny skies could extend all the way to the eastern Aleutians. And look for some pretty good sun breaks for Cook Inlet and the southern Susitna Valley for Friday afternoon here, as kind of get a break from the showers moving by and the next batch kind of hanging up along the Alaska Range. But that'll eventually kick through Saturday night and into Sunday. Next system way out here to the west. Way out here, the low center, just along the Russian coast there, but that front will spread rain and an increase in the winds into the western Aleutians. Just some scattered showers for Adak and Atka, and kind of a breezy, semi-moist southwest flow here, carrying more moisture into the southwest coast. Lows tonight in the 40s, just about everywhere in the state now. Upper 40s out over the Aleutians, and lower 50s for the Alaska Peninsula, near 50 for Bristol Bay, 45 to 50 south central Alaska. And in the 50s for the Panhandle, highs for tomorrow. Much cooler conditions now, lower to mid 60s at best here for the eastern interior areas. And then in the 50s all the way out until you get to St. Lawrence Island, where they'll stay in the upper 40s, 40s and 50s, North Slope, and lower 60s, Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, and 58 to 64 for the southeast coast. High or lows for Friday morning, Panhandle again in the lower to mid 50s, 45 to 50 here across southern Alaska. Some areas a little warmer like King Salmon and Kodiak, maybe Kenai as well, and 40s. Central interior closer to 40 for the Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast, upper 40s for the Aleutians. And the highs Friday afternoon, 50s for the Panhandle, except down south there, Heidelberg, Klawock, Craig, Ketchikan, maybe 60s, lower to mid 60s at best, and basically in the 50s now across all the interior with a cooler westerly flow off the Bering Sea, near 50 out toward the coast, actually mid 40s for St. Lawrence Island, and 40s for the North Slope and Arctic coast, and 50s again for the Aleutians.